Welcome back to another episode of This is Africa. This week we'll be hunting in the Ome Campfire area. Now Campfire means that the local people actually own the wildlife and benefit directly from hunters' dollars, incentivizing them to live with these dangerous animals. So sit back, relax, and watch how this all works.
Swift Bullet Company presents This is Africa.
Just got my new set of African sporting creations and we're going to put them to good use on this hunt. We're doing buffalo and a tuskless and we'll see how they go. A couple of plains game. Brand new, even in the wrapper. What I like about these is they're so quick and easy to set up for the client. Once you get onto a buffalo or something. They don't take up much space on the ground, so you're not getting caught in the grass and the trees. And it's based off the traditional African style, but with 3 legs instead of 2. And you're good to go.
This is my Blaser R8. It's a professional success with stingray leather. I really love it. I've got several different barrels for it. This is the 300 Winchester, and it's just a good all-around caliber for a lot of different things. I can really shoot well with it.
Okay, so we just left camp this morning, first day, and we've come to an area where there's some old fields you can see through here. So what these Duggar boys are doing are coming up the hill and to the top, and they're eating all the old maize stalks. So we've got a track here, but it's quite rocky, quite a bit of hard ground, so we're just going to see if we can find the fresh track and which way he's gone.
Krieghoff 470. Here we go.
So I'm using a 458 Winchester Win Mag. And I'll say thank you to Bull Hober for supplying me with the new Swift solids. Put it to good use.
I think first and foremost I enjoy being right in the middle of and a part of God's creation. And when you travel, especially to far remote places like here in Zimbabwe, you really get a feel for that. You're in a totally foreign land, and it's just great to see the diversity of wildlife and just what God has created here, and it's special for me. It doesn't matter where I go, but this is obviously a very special place for me.
These structures are used by the local village people to climb up inside and sit at night during the wet season and watch over their crops. Because obviously elephants and buffalo and hippo and baboons and everything like to raid here. So you can imagine these guys sitting up here, pitch dark, quite the life to live out here in Africa for the local people, looking out for elephants. And you can see they've still got some pots and pans, but now is the dry season, so there's no one here, and the animals are loving the regrowth of the crops.
So in the Ome, obviously it's a campfire program. So Campfire is a community-based project where the money gets split up into sections. For example, in the Ome there's different wards. So it's like a suburb of a city. And each little suburb gets a percentage of that money if the animal was shot in that suburb, for example. We call them wards. So if we shot a hippo in Ward 3, they would get a percentage of that money which they will put towards a project that they want to do, whether it's schools, towards a clinic, or towards a farming program, or fixing their wells, or putting it towards a bowmid area to keep the lions out of a cattle section. It shows the villagers that hunting gives back to the community. And they need to realize that, otherwise they're not going to want wildlife. They've got to deal with wildlife every day of their life. Their children going to school, their farming, their livestock. So if they don't see a value in wildlife, it's not going to be there. So hunting in the Ome and in other campfire areas is very important. That's why there's wildlife in community areas in Zimbabwe. These buffalo come from the valley floor. They come up on these hills where they've been doing the crops, eat. A lot of time the Duggar boys will stay up on top here for a day or two, sleeping in that thicket like we saw where that big herd just slept. And then they'll come back down. There's a few springs down in the bottom here. Still quite thick for glassing. Yeah, so Duggar boy hunting can be quite tough sometimes, especially now late in the year. The wind is fickle. It's obviously swirling a lot earlier than normal because of the thermals and the heat. And Duggar boys, they're old for a reason. They've been outsmarting lions and hunters for years, and they know which way to play the wind. They'll feed one way and then he'll do a 90-degree turn off of his track and go and sleep in the corner. So you can be following him and think everything's going well in your favor. And he's already gone ahead of the game and slept off to your right-hand side, and then you just hear the bushes crashing and breaking. And you start again. Try and make a new game plan.
They got downwind, or we wound up upwind.
Let's just give them like 10 minutes just to relax.
This is Africa is brought to you by African Sporting Creations. This is Africa is brought to you by the Houston Safari Club Foundation.
It's just a multifaceted experience with the hunting and the people and the culture and the food and all the things that you get to experience when you do come over here to Africa. And I can promise you, it gets in your blood.
How long have you been after one of these guys?
It's been a couple of trips. One trip I was planning to hunt a hyena, and then it wasn't really available, and then that didn't work out. And then I was here in the Ome a few years ago, and just hard luck. Just hard luck. We just didn't get the right opportunity. So here we are to try again. We are busy setting up for some hyena calling. We've made a drag down a road a pretty long ways, and we've gotten a place that's kind of open but broken with some brush, where we have some visibility, but there's not too much visibility when they're coming in until they're right here on us. So we're going to put the collar on here in a little bit and see if we can connect with my nemesis, the hyena.
Silhouette. He's about 20 yards to the right. Okay, I'm gonna put the light. You ready?
I'm ready.
Down, son.
I hope it was a good hit.
No, it's straight to us, down.
Okay.
Dead.
I just was worried.
Let's walk over. Well done, sir.
Oh, there's no standing shot.
No, there's not.
By the time I saw it,
Yeah.
and got on it,
But hyena hate the light.
yeah, they're gone.
They don't stand around.
So luckily there was just enough room around that bush that
exactly.
I could
Get one in there.
just get it, lead it a little bit, because I didn't know how hard it was turning to the right.
Yeah.
So that made it difficult to know how far to lead. It's not like a broadside.
Exactly, yeah.
He's curving away. And and so I just put it on the front of him.
No, perfect. Well done.
Thanks.
Good job. Okay, so hyenas live in dens, down in a hole. So they double jointed. Their legs tuck in like that
Oh wow.
to make them go easier in the hole.
Down the hole.
Yeah, so obviously there, then they tuck it in like that. Nice bushy tail, eh?
Yeah.
Don't touch that piece. It's very bad for your heart.
York had two different callers going, and it wasn't long before we heard one off in the distance calling back, and then two were coming down the road, and it was kind of just a waiting game, and enough time had passed. I thought maybe they're not coming, so York played with the call a little bit.
Yeah.
And one came in, and you know, when they get anywhere close at all, they sound like they're on a loudspeaker. Their call is so,
Almost,
I mean, it just gives you chills.
Yeah, almost like the ground's vibrating.
And then the time came when York said, "Are you ready?" He's going to be right here, and turned the light on, and he didn't stand for half a second.
Down, son.
And he wheeled to turn away, and I knew that that could happen, and so I was ready for a running shot and was able to just put him down, and I'm just very fortunate for this to all come together like that.
Yeah, you did well. He was hauling, and you put it right in the money and dropped him on the spot. It was perfect. Well done.
You got to be quick sometimes, York.
You have to.
You know, it's interesting, you know, years ago, I didn't really get, I want to hunt anything and everything, but I didn't get why some people enjoyed buffalo hunting so much. This trip was my second buffalo hunt, and you know, it's really like a bug that bites you.
So we left camp this morning. We put the other two guys on two other Duggar boys, and we've come back here into the villages, and we've just been told about one Duggar boy giving people trouble at a waterhole where everyone goes to collect water and keeps chasing them, so we're gonna go and have a look.
Yes guys, zirise kunyata. Nyati ziripo mdara. Nyati mdara kuli malambwe uku. Oh, inonetsa. Torovera. Anenge maboni angry boom da. Okay. Vatsungona masposi utiza madzimai ucheka usowe 13. Saka pavanora samanda paipe inogona kuuya kuzotuta mwanda ichipaza vanhu vakamira seapa.
We're gonna go and have a look, see what happens.
Let's do it.
This is Africa is brought to you by Swift Bullet Company.
I hunt for escape.
I hunt for conservation.
I hunt for tradition.
I hunt for empowerment.
I hunt for the challenge.
I hunt for the adventure.
And I hunt
For
me.
This is Africa is brought to you by Pulsar.
I've got a Krieghoff 470 here that I've had for a few years that I really like, and I've hunted with it a bit and brought it on this hunt, really looking forward to hunting some big stuff with it. And so today we're heading out after a buffalo once again, early morning on the track, and gonna go see what we can do with this big boy.
Okay, so I'm carrying a 458 Win Mag, Winchester Model 70, and I'm using the new Swift solids from Bill. Thanks very much for supplying me with them. And then I've got a Rayton Optics red dot, which is incredible. It's very fast. Got 1 point to aim, so when it's on target, it's going down. So we've got a plus and minus adjustment, so we can adjust the red dot on brightness how we want it. A lot of times at night when you follow up a wounded leopard or lion, you put your light on the front, you can't see the red dot because it adjusts to the light that the flashlight's doing. So the self-adjustment's much better because you can put it on to bright. Otherwise, you'd have to change weapons again at night. But let's go for a Duggar boy. It might get into a situation where he's actually quite close, depending on how thick it is. So I might not have time to put the sticks up. You'll find out that, eh? Okay.
If it's close, I do not need sticks.
All right, cool. So those Duggar boys in the Ome, for example, when they get really old out and they get kicked out the herds, they tend to go into the villages because the lions pressure them, and in amongst the villages, the lions don't normally go in there. So it's a form of safety, and they've got everything right there. They've got water where the people go, the cattle, they've got thick bush, and they don't normally have to go far. It's gone up here. So I think we go on this side of the bank. Because the wind's coming over this side.
And I've been fortunate. Most of the hunts I've gone on, wherever it is, wherever it may be, have always been challenging. But when you get in an environment like this in the Zambezi Valley, you're at the top of that challenge. You know, there can be anything happen. There's lots of animals here that are very dangerous animals. There's lots of different scenarios that could play themselves out. And having that confidence in your professional hunter is a very important part of the hunt and something that we should rely on.
He's wounded. I'm fine, man. He's broadside now. Yeah. What do you think? Just have a look if you're comfortable.
I think I need to be.
You see the bird on his back?
Yeah.
You want to come down, just into that grass.
Okay. Let me just look and see.
Put your African sporting creation sticks up nicely. Watch this stick. When you're ready, just under that bird in the grass. Take your time. Hit him again. Good job, my buddy. Reload, let's just watch him. That's the billow we want.
What do you think?
Beautiful.
What do you think?
Get yourself a pair of sporting creation sticks. Well done, guys.
This is Africa is brought to you by Right On Optics.
The Houston Safari Club is for anyone who likes to hunt.
It's for the love of the outdoors.
Is to give all of us as individuals a voice.
Ever wanted to hunt whatever, wherever in the world, somebody in the club has done it and can point you in the right direction.
We have met some of our very close friends through Houston Safari Club.
I love the Houston Safari Club.
I love the Houston Safari Club.
I love the Houston Safari Club.
Join the Houston Safari Club Foundation to increase your knowledge of the hunting world.
This is Africa is brought to you by Swift Bullet Company.
This is Africa 5. In it to win it. Yeah, so that bullet smoked him. Then the second one, that poleaxe.
Whoa! 5 days of doing this,
Yeah.
and then we get over here and this thick stuff early in the morning, a beautiful morning.
And you know, it's one of the things as we get back to campfire hunting in communities. They could have killed this buffalo if they wanted to. It drinks here every day, but because the money comes from you and goes back into the community, they left it and they called us.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because it's
great job.
been a real problem
Yeah.
in chasing people when they
Yeah.
come to get water and everything. So
Yeah, it's pretty unique when you get in a situation like that where you've got the chance to take out an animal that somebody's going to take it out or somebody's going to get hurt.
Yeah.
Man, I'm shaking. I'm so excited.
Well done.
Thanks,
Good
man.
job.
Appreciate it.
It's more than just the hunt for me when you come to a place like this. You get in there and you have the hunt and you have that experience with the wildlife, but then there's a second experience that comes along that a lot of people don't know about. And that's the people that live here.
Come around, guys. Well done, buddy.
Oh,
beautiful,
wow.
beautiful bull.
A little speechless at the moment. What an old warrior. There's nothing like getting in here in Africa and getting in the thick stuff and hunting dangerous game, and then the opportunity to make a good shot and get the job done and get your hands on horns like this. Feeling like no other. What a day.
See where he lives.
Yeah. Yeah, that's his little wall.
That's
and
his little
spot there.
bedding spot.
Yeah.
And then he comes through like a...
And graces over here and water's over there.
And then goes back down.
Probably doesn't go very far. He probably just lives right in here.
Yeah,
and-
right, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what these old bulls do. They look for these little gullies with this thicket, with these thorns, and then they come and just bed down. And the problem is when the people come looking, the children come looking for the cattle in the evening,
Oh, they
they
walk right
bump
past
straight
you.
into it.
Yeah. That's dangerous.
And it can turn and go very bad.
Dangerous situation. And we certainly have put in some hard days already and had some hard luck with the wind and whatnot. And to be able to get in here and then get a glimpse of him, and then to get in there on the sticks and just have to, I mean, it was so thick.
Yeah.
To be able to finally find a little bit of an opening, and then for you to make note that the oxpecker was standing right on the top of the shoulder, so hey, just come down from that,
Yeah.
and you can find that shoulder even though it's thick and hard
Yeah.
to see in there. And he was slightly quartering away,
Yeah.
and then made that shot, and which actually went in and broke the opposite shoulder, so that's what
Perfect.
he needed to do. And then as he ran away, I just put another one in the rear end, and he was down, and
Dropped right there.
the bellowing started.
Yeah, exactly. But beautiful old bull, good spread on him. And you can see how old he is, just how emaciated he is. He's so thin. I mean, I think we're going to struggle getting how much meat can come off with to the villages. And the nice thing is now, villagers are all on their way. I'm sure you can hear them in the background. So everyone's going to benefit from this. A lot of people have arrived. Unfortunately, I don't think everyone's going to get, due to the bull being so old and he's got not much meat on him, but we'll try and do what we can, and someone will get something. Half loaf is better than no loaf.
Most of the people seem to be happy, got a piece of meat here and there. Chaos. Chaos as usual. Meat in Africa, that's the story.
So if they don't see a value in wildlife, it's not going to be there. So hunting in the Ome and in other campfire areas is very important. That's why there's wildlife in community areas in Zimbabwe.
What a fascinating safari. I always love it when local people benefit from hunters' dollars. And Phil, great shooting there, my man. Good work with the double rifle. Folks, we'll see you right here next week on This is Africa.
Next time on This is Africa, Andy examines the complexities of how hunters' dollars help keep a balanced relationship between locals and dangerous wild elephants on this exhilarating season finale.